Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Creatives in Residence live session. And we are so excited today because we have with us Jamie Watkins of Divine Savages, based in London. Hi, Jamie.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Jamie, today, I hope you are going to inspire our graduates and tell them all about your design journey. And to do that, we've prepared a few questions. And then towards the end, we'll open up the forum for the graduates, Sarah, Evie and Keely, to ask a few questions, if that's okay. So let's go for it. Jamie, can you introduce us to Divine Savages?
Yes. So I'm one half of Divine Savages. I run the business with my husband, Tom, and we started the brand. Actually, I think it's our fourth birthday tomorrow. So we've been going about 4 years, and we kind of started up wanting to create bold interiors, something a little different to what was out there that we weren't kind of finding ourselves, and it kind of grew from that. We've been going 4 years, and it's been kind of a non-stop crazy journey ever since.
It has been a crazy journey and through a few challenges too, but you've done so well, and your style is just so outstanding, isn't it? Can you tell us about, you do so much work on social media as well. That must be a big part of what you're doing.
Yeah, so I would kind of say a big part, I think, of our success and the way that we've grown quite quickly over the past 4 years, is definitely down to social media. It's been pivotal to kind of us reaching our customers or potential customers. So it's a big part of what I do here at the business. So we kind of split it. We have quite defined roles, which helps when you're running a business with your other half. So Tom is much more the kind of design creative side. And then, I'm more on the kind of business marketing kind of networking side. So that works very well for us too, because again, we've met kind of other smaller brands that have launched, and it's just the one of them. So we struggle, just the two of us, but it must be even harder for someone on their own. The social media side, Pinterest and Instagram are the ones that we definitely tap into the most. Instagram being number one, just lends itself very well to the industry that we're in. It's very visual. That has allowed us to connect with a lot of the interiors kind of influencers and kind of the bigger accounts out there, and they were very open to us and very they gave us a lot of support at the start, which helped us to reach more people that are passionate about interiors early on. So that's really helped our kind of growth strategy over the past few years. And I would advise anyone to embrace the power of social media, because it's at the end of the day, it's a free resource for you to connect directly with people that are interested in what you're doing, no matter how small. There's you may think it's niche, but when you open it up to the world, there's potentially thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that are also interested in what you are.
I think, Jamie, as well, everybody underestimates how much time it takes to build a brand right at the very beginning. I mean, you really do now as a designer have to be an absolute multitasker, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. So again, for people that are kind of starting off on their own, you have to think about all of that: marketing, promotion, social media, customer service, logistics, deliveries, manufacturing, stock. It can be really overwhelming at the start, but I think best to kind of start small, not to get too overwhelmed, and kind of tackle one thing at a time. It's probably easiest, but it can be quite tricky managing everything at once.
I think, Jamie, would you agree as well? It's really hard when you start off as well to work out costings and margins and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And that was, I spent many a day in front of an Excel spreadsheet just staring blankly at it. But it's hard. But again, if you can do your research, and Google is a wealth of information. So normally you can find what you're looking for there, and it's just a matter of kind of doing the research, reading, working out what it is that you need to do. But that's kind of when you're setting off, it's that's key. You want to price your product or what you're making at a price point that works, both in terms of profit margins, but also for you, always think about your time as well. It's not just slapping a retail price on it. You need to think about the time and effort that goes into it behind the scenes, not just it costs me X to get it made. It's also that time factor. So don't undersell yourself and your skills. And I guess, do some research, see what kind of other people in that market are kind of priced at, and think about where also long term, as boring and dull as it sounds, but like VAT and everything, like if you're in this for the long run, then that could potentially come further down the line. So kind of just make sure you're aware of all those other kind of longer term kind of admin and financial implications.
I think that's a really great point, actually, Jamie. Value your time, and you have to cost your time and put it in there as well, don't you? Because if you don't, you make it really hard to scale your business, because as your business grows, you're actually not going to have the margin to employ the people you need to scale in your established price points.
Yeah, exactly that. And we've kind of it's always been a bit of a kind of balancing act for us, scale, because again, we kind of started this brand as if we go way back, it started because my husband, he got this weird kind of illness called labyrinthitis, which is to do with your balance in inner ear, and it specifically led to him having kind of vertigo and migraines, but that was made worse by working on the computer. And at the time he was working at a fashion kind of branding agency, which was very last minute deadlines and having to work on the computer for long periods, and that just made it worse. So he kind of took some time back and decided to go freelance design. And then it was really kind of weirdly that downtime that kind of gave us the chance to kind of talk and think about, okay, could you do something yourself? If you were to do that, what would it look like? We had just started decorating a house that we just bought, our first house. So the interiors thing kind of felt right for both of us. And then also his fashion and print background translated quite easily to wallpaper and fabric print. So that's kind of how the idea of Divine Savages came around. And I lost where I was going.
What inspires you, Jamie? What inspires you both yourself and Tom?
I'd say so we have, when we started out, we couldn't really find the kind of bold prints that we loved, and something that had a bit of a sense of humor and kind of didn't take itself too seriously, was a bit playful. We kind of, Tom started designing like odd bits for our house, and it kind of, I think it started with like a cushion that we got made and a shower curtain, and then people would come round and ask where we got that from, and it was like, oh well, we made it ourselves. And that kind of, I guess, seed of thought was planted. Tom finds inspiration. We draw a lot from nature and the natural world. We did a collaboration with the Natural History Museum, which was amazing for us. And that was really only in our kind of second year. So that really helped put Divine Savages kind of on the map, that we were doing this partnership with the iconic museum. And it was the first time that they had done wallpaper. So we were kind of had access to all of their archives from centuries ago of beautiful illustrations, and Tom was allowed to kind of access that, and he picked different elements to create that collection. So natural world, we live in London, so obviously when it's open we were able to kind of soak up all the culture, and be that exhibitions or even just kind of vintage markets. We love buying vintage pieces for our homes. So again, that kind of inspires us from kind of different periods. Art Deco is kind of something that we both love. So some of our kind of key wallpapers tap into that period. So yeah, it's kind of really a little bit of everything, which I think is why our collections are quite eclectic and kind of sometimes seem a bit random on the top, but when you kind of delve in a bit more, you see you see what our thinking is.
There's a great sense of opulence in your collections as well, isn't there? There's a pattern of time, and then, like, just as you say, playfulness is exactly the right word, because you're taking them on board, putting your own personality onto these, some of the vintage patterns, and it does create a really, really lovely playful look. And especially, I think, so personal as well, the way you shoot so much of it in your own home, it really is a passion, isn't it?
Yeah, so again, being a smaller business, we don't have budgets like for big photo shoots or hiring a location house and getting a stylist in to style it all up. So we're very much kind of like grassroots, I guess. But yeah, we use our home as a backdrop, and it works for us. People like seeing that journey as well on social media. So again, that taps into, as you say, we're a brand that people kind of get to see behind the scenes. They get to see myself and Tom on social media talking about the designs and the inspiration behind it, and then how we use it in our own home. So I think, again, people really like to see that rather than just an anonymous brand that you don't really know who is behind it. So again, I think that's helped our success.
It is. It's so important. The designer profile is so important, isn't it? The what, why, and how is all part of the identity and the value, really, of the lifestyle choice that people make by buying into your products as well, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's so much competition out there. So yes, how can you strengthen that kind of story behind your brand and your designs and who you are? And yeah, people, I think customers these days, yeah, they're shopping around a lot more, and they want something that not everyone else has. And I think, again, the rise of Instagram and social media has kind of, people are becoming a bit braver in their interior choices, because again, if you're kind of in that kind of interior world, you want to kind of not show off, but you want to like show people what you've done, what you've created in your own home. And so yeah, it kind of all works together.
People have become much more stylish in their interior choices, aren't they? Very eclectic, mixing lots of great, beautiful objects together. A bit like people do in the fashion sense as well, don't they, really? Where, Topshop's gone, but people used to be having a little bit of Topshop, a little bit of couture, mixing it all up, getting their own vibe. Yeah, it's so much fun out there. Jamie, tell us, which is your favourite pattern?
I mean, we try not to have favourites because we kind of they're all like our children in a weird way. But I'd say Crane Fonda, which was one of our earlier designs. It's obviously it features cranes and palm trees. It's kind of quite like breezy. We did it in a coral colorway first, and we actually started that print. Well, we started all of our prints digitally, and then a little bit further into our kind of manufacturing kind of journey, we decided to do a metallics collection, and we wanted to explore more of the traditional printing. So we picked kind of 4 or 5 of our most iconic wallpapers, Crane Fonda being one of them. We knew people loved that design, and obviously investing in hand-carved rollers in order to print traditionally is a big upfront investment. So we needed to be sure that we were choosing designs that we knew had longevity and people liked. So Crane Fonda kind of evolved from that one first coral colorway digitally, and now we've moved that over to print that traditionally with the rollers, and I think it has about 9 colors now. And that's kind of one of our best sellers. It's crazy kind of when we first launched again and thinking it would be kind of maybe a bit of a side hustle for Tom alongside his freelance work, and you kind of never know where it's going to take you. But now Crane Fonda is like in homes and restaurants and hotels all over the world, so it kind of still blows our mind.
Yeah. But it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of talent and a lot of passion to get there, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely a lot of hard work. Yeah, long days, not much weekends, always working at some point. But yeah, when it's kind of, you can see the results, and yeah, as I say, getting to see customers kind of share their living rooms or bedrooms with our kind of work on the walls is amazing. So yeah, it makes it all worthwhile.
Oh, well, congratulations, Damien. And Tom, who's not here. You've done an
Yeah,
amazing job.
he's busy
Yeah.
working. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's so good to hear. Let's have a quick chat. What's next for Design Savages? Are you do you have stockists, Jamie, or are you still totally online?
Yeah, we're still pretty much just through divinesavages.com. Yeah, we kind of, again, when we started and we were smaller, we were like, it was very great. We were approached by a number of other platforms or smaller resellers. I think for us, though, being just me and Tom, it was just too hard to manage kind of another, like, kind of, a lot of people want to drop ship these days. So it's just kind of, for us, it was another drain on our resources and time to kind of help someone else pop that product onto their webpage. Obviously, it's great that it's broadening the reach of your product, that people can see it and find it in different locations. And it's great if that said platform or partner is investing, say, in digital advertising for their website. People are going to kind of find you. But for us, it just felt like we wanted to put all our energy at the start into just selling direct through our own website. So that's kind of what we chose to do. So yeah, for now, it's just through us. We have a number of kind of reps in different countries. We've got a couple in the US. So I guess in markets outside of the UK where we need a bit of help to spread the Divine Savages word, yeah, we have a few kind of resellers that work with the trade. So architects, interior designers in the US that pitch our wallpaper to their customer base. So that's worked really well for us, and we've had some really successful orders and exciting projects through that. So that's something we're kind of looking to do more of outside of the UK, but the UK we kind of manage it ourselves.
Did you have any new collaborations coming up?
Yeah, so that's something we kind of want to do a little bit more of. As I mentioned, we did the natural history kind of collection a couple of years ago now, still going strong. But yeah, we're kind of always looking for partners to kind of help us just kind of broaden a little bit. So yeah, it's definitely something we're looking at. I can't say too much at the moment. There's a few conversations we're having with kind of brands outside of like wallpaper, fabrics, and things that we're doing ourselves. But yeah, so that's really exciting. And I think, again, that kind of world of collaboration has really taken off in the last kind of 3-5 years. You see lots of brands coming together now to kind of leverage kind of, both parties, audiences and customer base, and creating something that's quite buzzy and that kind of makes a bit of excitement. So yeah, we do have one of those coming up actually. At the end, actually on Monday, there'll be a bit more news on our Insta. It's something a little different just in the run up to kind of Christmas, but yeah, we're really excited for it. It's kind of smaller, but yeah, we're really pleased, so hopefully that goes well.
That's great news, isn't it? I mean, collaboration is the future, isn't it? If you just look at how everyone's survived really over the last 18 months, we've all, by choosing to collaborate with our partners and use their best, what's the right word for it? Just to use other people's skills really in the best frame, but with a really great intent for the greater good is so rewarding as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And when you kind of work with someone else, it's as you say, you're kind of tapping into their expertise on what they do. You're bringing your expertise on what you do, and then together that can kind of work so well.
That's great, Jamie. You said that much better than I did. That's great. Kind of, girls, do you want to come off mute and ask Jamie some questions?
Oh, put it on mute because the machine's on.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, ask Jamie. Fire away. Jamie will help.
Try my best.
So I noticed you said that your crane fonder was one of the prints you said that had longevity. What were the other prints that you selected as well out of those?
Yeah, so our Deco Martini print, I don't know if you've seen that one, but that's kind of our twist on, yeah, the Art Deco, and has our kind of the Martini glass in the motif. Yeah, that one again was that was our very first one, I think, that Tom designed. So again, that's yeah, evolved, and now I think we've got 7 or 8 colorways on that one. So yeah, it was Deco Martini, crane fonder. We did Gershwin gold, and then there was one more, but you have to check the metallic section on the website. But yeah, it was kind of ones that we knew would have kind of, they were probably the earlier ones, but ones we knew that sold very well. So when we had to invest in these rollers, I guess, like, I don't know, interesting, but there's like digital printing and traditional, and both have kind of pros and cons. Digital, very flexible, minimum runs are very small, but obviously slightly more expensive to produce, but also you can get sampling very quickly, and when you have a sample, you know that's what it's going to look like when you print 10, 15, however many rolls you want. But yeah, the traditional side, kind of quite a big investment up front to get the rollers made, but flip side, your kind of cost per unit comes down quite significantly, but also the minimums are kind of like 100 rolls at a time. So you really have to kind of be sure that it's going to work. If it does, then yeah, you're kind of, the margins are kind of much bigger.
Okay, who's Evie? You going to go?
I was just wondering what advice you could give on growing your social following, and if you had a strategy in terms of how frequent you posted or anything like that. Yeah,
sure. We try and post every day. There's some days when we're just like, too busy and it gets too late, so we don't. But yeah, I'd be consistent is the key. So again, when you're kind of, I guess when you're starting, then it can be quite hard to have all that imagery ready to go, and we definitely struggled with that in the early days, because I think we had 3 designs. So once you kind of posted those a couple of times, different angles or whatever, then it's like, oh, what do we post next? So maybe at the start, you don't have to be every day, but just pick every other or every 3 days, but just be consistent. So then your following kind of know, oh, there's going to be a new post on Wednesday or whatever. And then in terms of growing, we did an Instagram live, which is saved on our IGTV. So if you look that up on our Insta page, I think it's about 40 minutes, but we talk about that in a couple of those. But I'd say just kind of reach out, and it's social media at the end of the day. So get on there and start commenting on other accounts' posts that kind of fit with what you're about. Find out those other accounts that are kind of in your kind of halo, and see what they're up to, comment on them, follow them, see who's following them. It's kind of all that weird kind of, I guess, like environment, see what else is in that space, and just start making a connection with people. And we started off as well as quite successfully partnering with a few of those accounts to kind of do a giveaway, or and in return for the giveaway, they have to follow you, they have to follow the other account, so you both kind of see a bit of growth there. There's quite a few kind of tips and tricks as well on that IGTV that goes into a bit more detail.
Yeah, that's great, thank you.
No problem.
I wanted to ask about the collaboration with the Natural History Museum, because you said it was quite early on and it helped to kind of build your success from that. kind of like how it came about, or whether it's because your brand fit with the image they wanted to create? Or,
Yeah. Yeah, me and Tom were just kind of speaking about, we really wanted to do a collaboration, and we were like, okay, if we could do it with anyone, like who would it be? And yeah, Natural History Museum was really at the top of the list. So we certainly aimed high, and yeah, I just kind of dropped them an email. I found a contact email through like Google and through the website to their kind of licensing and brand team, and sent them a bit of info about who we were. We'd had a bit of press coverage recently, so kind of to put a few links in so they could see a little bit more about what we were about. And just kind of a very small kind of proposal of kind of, yeah, we'd love to kind of work with them and have some great ideas on kind of how we could create something really special. And yeah, I really kind of did think that we would never hear anything back, but yeah, amazingly they kind of got back in touch. I think it was very yeah, they were starting to kind of expand their homeware kind of licensing, so they do a lot for, like, obviously it fits with Natural History Museum, they do a lot with kind of school products, rucksacks, kids stuff. And yeah, they were really kind of focusing on that homewares section of the market. So I think our email was quite well timed. And then, yeah, we had a meeting with them at the museum just to kind of chat through some ideas. And then, yeah, it kind of just progressed from there. So, yeah, we were really amazed. And as I said, kind of for us, it was a kind of a dream come true, and really helped us then kind of step up a gear in terms of our kind of PR and the story that we kind of took to the market. And then amazingly, at the same time as our collection came out, the museum was also doing something with Farrow and Ball on a new paint collection, and made.com for some artwork, kind of framed prints that they were doing from the museum's archive. So kind of the three, like it was Divine Savages, Farrow and Ball, and made.com, that the kind of press were doing this like story about interiors, museums, new collection. So for us, that was kind of amazing to have our brand amongst those two.
That's so good. Girls, have you got any more questions? Probably got time for one more.
I'm not sure if because I understand you're behind the business aspect. I wondered what the process was for making a geometric print. Yeah, if you're.
Yeah, that's probably more a Tom question, sorry, but I'd say, I mean, he starts the process, and normally the kind of idea comes and he'll sketch something kind of on the back of a napkin or in his notebook, the kind of idea, and then it kind of evolves from there. But he works very much digitally once he gets going. So he has like a digital trackpad. I can't remember the brand name, but yeah, with the pen, and he does everything in like Illustrator, Photoshop, kind of those kind of software projects, and it goes from there. But yeah, in terms of the kind of actually the geometric side, sorry, I'm not
great.
sure. But feel free to direct message us on Instagram, and he can certainly reply to you that way.
Thank you.
Jamie, quick question. How long does it take to put a collection together? How long do you think it takes, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, again, when we started, we very much work kind of organically, and a lot of, when we started, there was a lot of kind of pressure or certainly with the trade shows that used to take place, or thankfully are coming back now, but you would always, obviously the trade shows are coming, so you need your new collection, and then it was kind of like, and then you had to have your kind of spring, summer, autumn, winter, almost obviously mirroring fashion. And for us as a small brand, it just like that didn't work for us. So we kind of just we work organically, and when something is ready and we're happy with it, we kind of look to obviously we pick a period when we know it's going to be we're not going to launch something in the run up to Christmas, but yeah, we don't necessarily work to the kind of standard schedules and timetables. But I'd say Tom probably, once he gets the initial ideas, and it's normally that first wallpaper or print needs to happen first, and then the kind of rest will kind of follow, because we'll start to get like a theme together. Sometimes the theme idea for a collection comes first, but sometimes just a single standalone print will come first, and then we'll be like, okay, there's something here. What else could we do that would kind of complement this? We tend to, for us, we just tend to do kind of 3 designs in a collection. So we're kind of, our beloved beasts we launched at the start of this year, and that had 3 wallpapers in. Then we launched Nana Nostalgia kind of halfway through the year with another 3. Yeah, so it's kind of whatever works for you, really. I wouldn't be too tied down to like feeling, oh, I need to do kind of 5 designs in this collection and I need to do 2 collections a year. Yeah, just kind of, and again, start small. We didn't really, when we launched, we didn't really have a collection in the traditional sense. We launched with Deco, Martini, Fornication. Yeah, those 2 actually, I think, to start with, and they didn't kind of pair up together at all. They were completely different. So, and again, the luxury of being able to run your brand or business on platforms like Instagram, it's just very easy to kind of start up and get that product out there and the story behind that product out there, and then hopefully people come to your website.
Jamie, it's an amazing story, it really is. I've got to ask another quick question. Who comes up with the names? Because they are so cool.
Yeah, we love having some fun with our names. And again, I think that early on, yeah, that kind of got some attention. It was just a bit different to what people were really doing before. And we kind of try and give them sometimes kind of quite kind of personal names. So like Jaja, which is this ostrich print here. She kind of has a personality of her own now, Crane Fonda as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, me and Tom, and kind of with some friends in a WhatsApp group, sometimes brainstorm some ideas. Sometimes the name comes really easily. Others, it's kind of takes a bit more time. We have also reached out to our Insta followers. Crane Fonda was actually someone on Instagram suggested that name. So we've run a few competitions. Yeah, to name our kind of new wallpaper, which was really successful. People love kind of getting involved in the creative process with you. We've done that also on kind of which colorway should we do next, people kind of sending in their suggestions. So again, it's kind of having that kind of direct conversation with your followers about what to do next and getting them involved. So yeah, the names, we have a lot of fun with the names. Jamie,
it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, it's just been great. Pardon?
Thanks for having me along.
No, it's been great, girls. Have you enjoyed it? It's been a great session.
Yeah, it's been a great insight, really helpful.
Good.
Thank you.
No worries. Yeah, so yeah, give us a follow on Insta, and then if you have any questions over your journey, definitely reach out. I'd be happy to help answer any questions.
That's brilliant. Jamie, the girls have got the whole of next week. They're started their project 1, and then we'll catch up later, I think the week after, to do a little bit of mentoring, see how the process is going, and share your wisdom and expertise. That sounds good.
Okay. Good. Yeah, look forward to it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Have a great weekend.
And you guys, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.